Great Mother, Holy Spirit, Yin, Divine Mother, Cosmic Womb, Deep Space, the Moon, Dark Matter, the Void, the Black Hole, Hathor, Isis, Diana, Mami Ishtar, Kali, Mammy, and Mother Mary. Hello, welcome to Great Mother Speaks. I'm Tammy Taylor, your manifestation muse, and today we're talking about
we are the offspring of the creative primordial forces of the Great Mother Father God. Great Mother, the still small voice of intuition, our soul space and moon sign. Great Father, the spark of inspiration to materially create our sun sign. Both join in Aries, April 22nd, 23rd, this new moon in Ashwini Nakshatra, the stellar constellation of beginnings, miracles, pioneering, equine energy, bringing of the dawn, quickening, the horn of Aries, fast and furious, impatience and transition. And what a transition we are undergoing with Saturn, the firstborn of Great Mother Father God, in Capricorn conjunct Pluto, Jupiter, and Mars at this time on planet Earth. We are experiencing these energies as an uprooting of the old systems and the creation of the new. This is the beginning of the transition from the Piscean age to Aquarius. Since Great Mother's last message and those preceding those messages back in the fall of 2019, October, 3 years or so, she's been preparing us for this time of deep seeding and life reflection, cleansing, rebirth, and recognizing that there is a constriction occurring with regard to our internal truths. If you are new to this channel, Great Mother speaks to those of us with mama drama trauma through her signs and symbols of the Great Mother Speaks Oracle deck, the lunar cycle, the moon phases, chakras, gods and goddesses of which we are equal to as gods and goddesses, children of the Great Mother Father God, and the symbolism of the story of Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz, the poster child of mama drama trauma. MDT is a condition in which the mother projects unhealed aspects of herself onto the child, causing emotional and or physical trauma. In cases where she is unable, unwilling, or unavailable to heal her own trauma, because it is a cycle, loving detachment is required for us to live a happy, healthy, and whole life. And indeed, happiness, health, and wholeness is the birthright of children of the Great Mother Father God. Reclaiming this divinity identity is the key to not only healing mama drama trauma, but healing all that ails us in our human experience. With mama drama trauma, there's always an issue of ignorance. It is a planetary disorder, she has shared with me as the creator of this deck and inner work life coach specializing in this area, since she, working with her, has healed my own. Mama drama trauma has a wide spectrum from ignorance to denial to the regular, ordinary interaction between mother and child that is one of a soulmate contract for learning and growing, and within it naturally has conflict, to the extreme cases of abandonment and abuse. There are telltale signs of mama drama trauma, and if you'd like to know more about those, you can click the link to the video below. Great Mother gives her messages for those of us who are in the daily practice of our divinity identity, which is first and foremost the affirmation that anyone can do, and that anyone who is seriously undertaking this work to transition from MDT identity, made up of a life of shame, blame, and guilt, into divinity identity. This is what we say to ourselves all day, every day, to transform shame, blame, and guilt into that divinity identity. It is, I am a dearly loved divine child of the Great Mother Father God, who was never judged, condemned, or left alone. Her encouraging messages through the Great Mother Speaks Oracle deck supplement this divinity practice by allowing us to get in touch with her soul to soul and the support that is available to us in the moment to heal feelings of shame, blame, and guilt. You know, when MDT is acknowledged after releasing the denial of it, we're overwhelmed with even more feelings of shame, blame, and guilt because we know intuitively that it's not our mother or our child. Many times people have problems with mama drama trauma in the raising of their children, having suffered from it themselves, and there may be an ignorance of mama drama trauma and a projection of it onto the child, which is why acknowledgement is so important, so we can see what our child is mirroring to us and we can stop the cycle. Someone has to. And so this is the purpose, this is the intention of sharing these readings, to get in touch with this eternal support that's available to us through the signs and the symbols of the lunar phases, which represent the planetary support that is also available to us with this Aries New Moon. I try to get these out for new and full moon, but it does depend on my work schedule, and it is quite intense at this time, but I felt it really necessary because Great Mother is really wanting to let you know that as you're going through this time, you need to remember you are the child of the mother of all mothers, the father of all fathers, and you have the support that you need in each moment to actually feel your moon sign, your emotions, and intuitively know this. And when you don't, because of the conditioning of mama drama trauma, she offers this practice and these messages of support to you. So these are your Aries New Moon messages for 2020. Sagittarius moon sign people, you are in the last and final stage of Sati Sati, the 7-year period of soul reset, ego soul alignment, the ego emotion aligning with the intuitive unction for incarnation. It is a 7-year period that comes around every time Saturn transits our lunar dasha. And for you, that's Scorpio, Sagittarius, and Capricorn. Saturn is presently in Capricorn and transits each sign 2.5 years. So the 2.5 years Saturn was in Scorpio was the beginning of your Sati Sati. Scorpio is the 12th house from your moon. That is the beginning of your moon yoga. Your 12th moon house is how you download intuitive information. And so that period, about 4 years ago, closer to 5 years ago, there was a very deep shift, maybe some internal turmoil that was occurring because Saturn was there to release the debris around your intuition. And we don't always want to let that debris go because it is created by us. We do not necessarily voluntarily, I should say, align with our soul purpose. And so we create a lot of situations that don't have to do with that soul purpose, that have to do with that dharma, in fact. So when Saturn comes around for our Sati Sati, that 7-year period, we get a reset. So that started to happen with Scorpio, and just until January, December 2019, when it was leaving Sagittarius, the 2.5 year prior, was a period of your Sati Sati in Sagittarius, your moon sign, which is the part of the moon yoga that determines the filter and how you feel about things. You filter through a Sagittarius lens. You download through a Scorpion lens, a very deep, intuitive lens. and you feel as a Sagittarius. And now since January, Saturn is in Capricorn and will be there for 2.5 years, is the final leg of this period for you in processing all that you have learned about aligning your emotions with your intuitive purpose. And of course, we have free will. And so this process can either be as exhilarating and exciting as we want it to be, or as excruciatingly painful as we don't want it to be. And so since Great Mother is here to assert that we are dearly loved divine children of the Great Mother Father God, who were never judged, condemned, or left alone, this reading is to support the former. The exhilaration that is the energetic setup of this lunar cycle for you, Sagittarius moon sign people, and this Aries New Moon is an energy that is all about inciting a sense of soul surrender. This heart sadness, this heart chakra, Yemaya soul surrender, first quarter moon card, is about initiating not only this lunar cycle, but with Aries energy of leadership, really taking hold, really owning your destiny, moving forward now that you have all this information and you're processing it with deliberation, that you are surrendering to your soul. First quarter moon is making a decision to face a challenge, and this is challenging. Sati Sati is traditionally feared in the Jyotish astrology because of this misunderstanding. But the clarification is here for you and for you to use your free will accordingly. So the energetic setup is this Yemaya energy, the goddess, our older archetypal goddess sister, who is the Nigerian goddess of the waters, of really being able to withstand the oceanic power of emotions with deliberate intent. She is offering you the free will opportunity to face this challenge, to make that decision, to surrender to the soul unction at this time. This inciting energy, this energy that is setting up this lunar cycle over the next 28 days is being brought up by Pachamama, root chakra. And so root chakra, going back to that sense of family, tribe, safety, security, grounding, it's being pulled up by this eternal energy that is in your second house. And so issues around family, your diet, what you're speaking into the world about who you are, and what you want is bringing up this need for you to surrender to who you are and what you are here to do. You are someone who is surviving or thriving, some of you, through mama drama trauma, depending on where you are in that continuum. And owning that it is a disease of shame, blame, and guilt, yet a soul contract to evolve through that with self-love and spiritual independence that we practice as divine children of the Great Mother Father God. Pachamama is here saying that at this time, the earth energies are supporting you. Everyone in the planet just about now has the opportunity at any time to go outside barefoot, stand, and breathe. That is what you need to do. You need to be breathing in fresh air, allowing your skin to feel the sun. This is an energy that is all about that waning full moon, where it's like a sponge has been filled up the full moon, and then the waning is that squeezing out until you get to the essence of what you really need to use to work that sponge. And so there's been a lot you've been absorbing, Sagittarius moon sign people, over the last 5 years. And now as you process it, you're moving toward utilizing it. And that is what is activating this energy for you. What you may not realize in your shadow position is the Sphinx energy. It's first quarter moon energy again here with the Sphinx face the challenge card. But it's throat chakra energy. It is the chakra above the heart chakra of Yemiya, first quarter moon, heart chakra energy, soul surrender. You may not realize that you are really ready to face this challenge. If you are aware of it, Mercury is in your fourth house. So with regard to those family issues that the energies of Saturn, Jupiter, Pluto, Mars are activating planetarily right now, in your family, in your second house, in your diet and what you're speaking to the world, you have the support. And if you're aware of it, Mercury is in Pisces now, your fourth house. And so if you're aware of it, you have been using your self-mothering powers. You've been utilizing that sponge to clean up issues around your house, getting your house in order. Because as we reset, we move forward anew. We are renewed. And so you're preparing for that newness. You're trusting that newness. You're facing the challenge to go through this reset process with exhilaration, with expectation, with optimism, that you're cleansing away that debris in order for you to be refined. And that is what you want here with the Sedna second chakra crescent moon victim card. You're wanting to release that victimhood and plant a new seed of what you now see more clearly in your life. Second chakra energy is ruled by Jupiter, and of course Jupiter is conjunct all of these energies in your second house. And so pay particular attention to your beliefs, to really how you are aligning what you know to be true for you with what you're speaking into the world, with your self-talk, how you're taking care of yourself, how you're saving your money, where you're storing it, where is it allocated, and just having a breakdown in your mind of how you're using both your material and immaterial resources to support you. Because we know with Sedna, the story of this sister goddess is all about not being allowed to express her love to her beloved the way she wanted to. Her family, her father in particular, did not approve. But even though he came to retrieve her after she married her beloved anyway, she returned to him through a great deal of struggle and even losing her arms, but transforming them into fish fins so that she could swim across the water back to him. And so although there may be some sadness and pain through Sati Sati, it is a transformation for the utilization of your divinity in a way that it needs to be expressed now. And in this Sedna position of what you desire, you are desiring that transformation. You are desiring a release, a withdrawal of your previous identity, how you used to define yourself, what used to be important to you. First house for your moon ascendant being Sagittarius, maybe you described yourself in ways that don't necessarily fit with what is best for you and your divinity at this particular time. And that's what you're wanting. You're wanting to plant new seeds going forward. Now, second chakra is ruled by Jupiter, which rules Pisces and Sagittarius. And so the Sagittarius energy of this crescent moon is really indicative of the early part of 2020. So some of you have already planted the seed of transformation, and Great Mother is coming through and she's giving you confirmation that that seed is growing, because in the position of what is supporting your desire is Nefertiti, fifth chakra, heart above energy, this waning gibbous moon card. Own your beauty. Own the beauty of the new seeds you've planted, Sagittarius moon sign people, going forward to express your identity. Fifth chakra is that throat, that mouth, that ear, that nose, what you are allowing into your higher frequencies and what you are releasing out into the atmosphere from them. Again, that's speaking. What we're eating, what we are consuming, our beliefs, how we're sharing those. Own that beauty. You are in this process. You are indeed processing with Saturn and Capricorn all that you've learned up to this point. And so the present stage of your ego soul alignment is the law of destiny and free will, divinity, identity. You're there. You're there. This third quarter moon card, all the law cards, are third quarter moon, which is the moon of release, letting go. This withdrawal of this previous identification with what Sagittarius moon energy and how it expressed this energy for you. Many of you using tropical astrology have been expressing as Capricorn. And you're now expressing more as Sagittarius as you align more with the soul lunar astrology. And so that might be the transition for some of you. Others who clearly identify as Sagittarius moon sign people, again, the moniker of the teacher, the student, the long distance traveler, the individual who is optimistic, who is glowing, those things can all be expressed in a multitude of ways. And perhaps in the past, being an optimistic student or optimistic teacher was expressed in a way that didn't really honor who you are now, and you're shifting in that process as an example. Yin symbol, double yang, is all about feeling what you feel, that yin energy, and acting on it with conscious intent. Double yang. It's not just acting on it, one yang, but double yang, acting with conscious intent. The law of destiny and free will. It is our destiny to heal mama drama trauma, if not in this life, in the next or another. I know I've had several lifetimes of mama drama trauma, and it is in this life that I've healed it. That is our destiny. But it is also our free will, so we get to choose whether or not we take on our divinity identity, which is a singular path initially until we are able to reconnect with individuals in a healthy way. It takes a while for us to practice loving detachment and our divinity identity before we can engage with others in a healthy way. You have been facing this challenge. You have been releasing those aspects of shame, blame, and guilt that are allowing you now to live your birthright, to be happy, healthy, and whole as a result of being a divine child. Why your soul wants to work on this at this particular time, and why soul surrender is the inciting incident for this lunar cycle, is Sheila Nagig broken open heart energy. This heart chakra waning gibbous moon card is another card of release. And again, that waning, squeezing the sponge of whatever has broken your heart and squeezing the sponge so that you can open the heart. It is a simultaneous process. As we release the pain, we open our heart to gain a great deal. And so this is what the reason is, that you are wanting on a soul level to soul surrender, for your ego to surrender itself to your soul's intention for this lifetime, to align with the soul intention, to consciously act on the reset, and to see yourself as refreshed, to feel yourself as renewed as you continue to release things that have pained you in the past. You know, sometimes we can heal and heal and heal and heal a brokenness to a point that it becomes comfortable to be in that healing stage, when sometimes what we need is to decide that we are healed. Now, that decision is an individual one, and one that only we can determine based on our experience. For example, usually the pain that is replicated with MDT is the transference of the shame, blame, and guilt from our mother to our partner, to our coworkers, and re-experiencing the trauma in all of our relationships, okay? The brokenness from doing that and the practice of loving detachment from that can become such a routine and such a struggle. It's very similar to surviving MDT when we were young, or very similar to emotions that we've grown accustomed to feeling. Even though we have initiated a path of new awareness, we're still primarily functioning on a dense vibration. When we get to a point of being able to assert that we are healed is when we no longer want to feel that. That's no longer comfortable. That routine is no longer serving our divinity in moving forward. And so Sheila Nagig is saying that release that, squeeze that out, so the utilization of the sponge can finish its job and open its heart to the new divinity that you are expressing in your life. And the heart is where the soul gets to play, the soul gets to laugh, the soul gets to return to its natural state. And this is where the reset with Sadhisati throughout the duration of your processing, this 2.5 years, becomes exhilarating and exciting. It becomes encouraging and inspiring. And the aspiration to live in MDT becomes a transition now to living beyond MDT, which is indicated by the remaining cards in your Aries New Moon spread. With Mayat, inner eye, third eye, chakra energy, first quarter moon card of justice. How your soul wants to do this work is by squarely looking at the things that have disappointed you in terms of your own responsibility for engaging in those situations. Looking at things, for example, those relationships that perpetuate shame, blame, and guilt, and saying, yeah, I did that. I didn't know I was doing it. Had no idea I was replicating this cycle. Sure did. And I was thinking that things were going to change, or that this person was going to change, or that this person was different. But because of the energy I was bringing, unbeknownst to me, to that dynamic, I replicated, I recreated that situation. That's Mayat first quarter moon justice card. That's true justice. Recognizing that we can reflect on our past, not with sadness, but with divinity, and saying, wow, at that stage of my evolution, I was really expecting XYZ from ABC. And my ABC was not respecting my divinity, so the XYZ certainly didn't either. Wow. Thank you, great Mother, Father, God, for that awareness. Let's move forward. That's Mayat holding the scales. And Mayat holds the scales with a feather in one and our heart in the others. That's that lightness of soul. That's that inner eye. That is that intuitive unction coming through with that power of divinity. This is true empowerment. So how your soul wants to used to surrender to this reset is through this power of making that conscious action to align with the reset of your divinity. The likely outcome is also inner eye, sixth chakra energy of the Adeptus full moon card. Guildeptus, rather, is synergy. The most likely outcome of this lunar cycle from now into the Taurus New Moon, the 21st, 22nd of May, is that there will be a synergy around your whole energetic aura as a result of this soul surrender. You will, in fact, be given exactly what you need to align body, mind, and soul with this new reset. And as you process in the remaining 2 years or more, you're going to amplify the synergy because this is a full moon card. You may even really be living this synergy going forward with the Cancer full moon. Now, the Cancer full moon is in January. And how do we know Cancer full moon? Because the full moon in the third eye, ruled by the moon, is in January. Cancer new moon is in June. The full moon is in January. And so I would look from now, this Aries new moon, until January of next year, Sagittarius moon sign people, for this process of soul surrender to really be the payoff from all of your reflection, to really be the eureka from all of the downloads that you have been working with over the last 2.5 years of feeling this change and this transformation, and to really be the support and upliftment that you so desperately crave at this time to integrate everything that you're processing now, emotionally and intuitively. You have learned a great deal, and you are remedying so much from your past situations that it may not be clear at this time. For those of you that it is clear, I want to really recognize the challenges that you have faithfully endured by aligning with your divinity identity. It's just going to amplify even more. I hope this has been the support that you have needed at this time. The soul surrender being brought up by this eternal energy of establishing your own safety, security, and shifting that victim consciousness through this inner knowing that you're ready to face this challenge, and you're being supported in owning that beauty of your divinity identity, looking to the past, looking to how you've addressed situations with love, and synergistically moving forward with it in your heart and in your life. Remember, Great Mother loves you, and I do too.
Great Mother speaks.
I am Great Mother, Holy Spirit, Yin, Divine Mother, Cosmic Womb, Deep Space, the Moon, Dark Matter, the Void, the Black Hole, Hathor, Isis, Diana, Mami Ishtar, Kali, Mammy, and Mother Mary.